Heartwarming twist, blind girl abandoned at market discovers life-changing connection with president. Lily had always seen the world differently. The bustling market around her was a symphony of sounds, laughter blended with shouts, the rustle of paper bags bursting with ripe apples, and the aroma of sweet cinnamon rolls drifting from her family's bakery. But 2 hours earlier, her life was painted with only the warm hues of love and comfort, until her mother, overwhelmed by judgment, shattered that light. "Wait here," she had said, her voice trembling. "I'll be right back." As Lily stood alone, trust evaporated like a puff of smoke. Panic gripped her chest, a tight knot that wouldn't come loose. She listened, the heartbeats of the crowd hammering in her ears, until realization struck her: mother had vanished into thin air. With a small, determined breath, Lily decided to navigate the chaos. She tightened her grip on her trusty cane and started to weave through the throng, each tap a heartbeat guiding her forward. "Excuse me, pardon me," she murmured, trying to drown out the sharp pang of loss. She could no longer hear the comforting voice of her mother, just the emptiness echoing inside her. Suddenly, a burst of laughter from a nearby stall caught her attention, pulling her into a small barbershop where Mr. Thompson sat, an old-fashioned barber chair creaking beneath him. "Well, look who wandered in," he greeted, his accent thick with kindness. The warmth in his voice was like a warm slice of pie, comforting and familiar. "Are you lost, dear?" he asked gently. As Lily recounted her story, she noticed the glisten in his eyes, a painful reflection of her own heartache. Mr. Thompson shared his struggles, too, his journey from battlefields to shadows, haunted by regrets. It was a moment woven with empathy. As they talked, a flicker of hope ignited in Lily's chest. Maybe their pain could intertwine into something beautiful. "How about a bake sale?" she proposed, the words spilling from her mouth like warm batter laced with sugar. "We can raise money for veterans like you." "Now that's a fine idea," he exclaimed, buzzing with newfound energy. Together, they poured their hearts into planning. Back at the bakery, Lily reveled in the rhythm of mixing ingredients, sweet aromas filling the air. Flour dusted her nose like stars against a night sky, a sprinkle of joy amidst the shadows. Just as they began to gather supporters, a local reporter knocked on their door. The headline lit the town ablaze, stirring sympathy and controversy in equal measure. They were caught in an emotional whirlwind that no one could have predicted. Arguments bubbled at the breakfast tables, divisions began to form between those defending Lily's mother and those rallying behind Lily's fierce spirit. Everything erupted at the community bake sale. Lily stood at the makeshift podium, the weight of uncertainty pushing down on her shoulders. Yet she knew she had to speak, to embrace the pain and turn it into a bridge towards understanding. Her voice quaked but rang clear like the sound of a bell. "I ask for kindness, not just for me but for my mom too. Anyone can feel lost, and sometimes we just need a little light to guide us home." As she opened her heart, a hush fell over the crowd, ripples of emotion weaving through the audience. Some nodded, tears glistening in their eyes, while others shifted uneasily, grappling with their beliefs. Lily stood, raw and exposed, wondering if her voice could warm the cold judgments that had seeped into her community. Hope fluttered in her chest, yet uncertainty loomed like an oncoming storm. Would her words forge unity, or would they shatter bonds that once felt unbreakable? The crowd's gaze was unyielding, their whispers a challenge. What would happen next? Would Lily, in her fight for love and acceptance, find the strength she so desperately sought? The stage was set, and her moment loomed like a beacon in the dim light, waiting to burst forth into a brave new dawn. The moment stretched, a fragile glass filled with uncertainty. As Lily scanned the sea of faces, a flicker of movement caught her ear, a gentle wave of applause breaking the tension like a gentle tide. Her heart raced, feeling the warmth of acceptance drifting toward her, mingling with the doubts that still lingered. "Lily, you've got this." A voice rang from the back, familiar and sweet. It was Sarah, her best friend since kindergarten. Just hearing her made the knot in Lily's chest loosen. She could almost feel Sarah's hand on her shoulder, lightweight courage pressed into her skin. "It's okay to feel afraid," Lily said to herself. "This is my moment." She inhaled deeply, letting the air fill her lungs like fresh bread rising in the oven. "Being lost doesn't mean we can't find our way together," she continued, not just trying to convince the crowd but also nourishing her own spirit. "So many of us have been lost in different ways. Let us help each other find light." This time, her words took flight, soaring above uncertainty and gloom. The room seemed to buzz with life, a new energy creating waves of hope. Then came the soft claps, hesitant at first, before building up to a roaring applause that echoed in her ears. The sound wrapped around her like a warm embrace, igniting every shadow within. The bake sale had been more than just a chance to raise money. It was a revival, a space where connections sparked like electricity in the air. Faces began to merge into one, a patchwork of empathy and understanding. She could almost hear the whispers of solidarity springing to life, veterans, mothers, children all lost at one point or another, yet finding each other in little bursts of kindness. In that collective breath, she felt her purpose sharpen. Lily let her voice grow louder, braver. We all deserve kindness. Whether we're lost, hurting, or feeling alone. Let us create that for each other. Let us bake our way into healing. The crowd responded, a wave of cheer breaking against the walls of doubt. Laughter and chatter filled the room, and soon, people were sharing stories of their own struggles, of times they felt abandoned. Even old Mr. Thompson stepped up, eyes shimmering with tears of pride. Yet, amidst the joyous din, Lily felt a tug at her heart, a still, small voice reminding her of her mother. Would she be proud of her? Would she find her way back if she knew Lily was not just surviving but thriving? Suddenly, a shadow loomed within the laughter. A figure at the edge of the crowd caught her attention. Tall, his features sharp and stern, was the town's mayor, Mr. Callahan. He stood apart, observing. People began to quiet their voices, and apprehension rolled back in like a thick fog. We've heard a lot today, but we also need to address the reality that not everyone sees things as clearly as you do, Lily, he began, his voice deep and commanding. Your mother isn't the only one whose choices affect this community. Her heart sank, a fresh wave of doubt washing over her. Just as hope filled her, fear threatened to drown her. But before she could spiral into despair, Lily took a step forward, chin high, spirit raw and blazing. But aren't we all entitled to understanding? To kindness? If we don't accept each other's flaws, how do we find the way back home? The murmur of the crowd rose again, growing louder, a mixture of support and confusion. As the tension cracked, Lily felt adrenaline surge. This was no ordinary fight. She was standing for herself, her mother, and everyone who had ever felt unseen. She took a deep breath, ready for whatever came next. The air buzzed with possibilities. What would Mr. Callahan say? What would the community's response be? With her heart pounding and uncertainty crackling like static, she braced herself for the storm ahead. Would this moment lead to the connection she desperately sought, or would it pull her further into the storm? Lily's voice echoed in the stillness that followed Mr. Callahan's words. She could feel the eyes of the entire community on her, each gaze a mixture of curiosity, concern, and expectation. Anxiety buzzed around her like bees in summer. Would she fold under the weight of their scrutiny? Mr. Callahan took a step forward, eyebrows furrowed. What makes you believe that kindness is enough, Lily? This isn't just about feelings, there are real consequences to actions. His tone was firm, as if every word hit the crowd like a hammer. Lily felt her chest tighten. Consequences. She thought about her mother and the troubles that had pulled them apart. What if he was right? What if all this hope she felt was just a flickering candle in a storm? But at that moment, the chatter of the crowd broke through her haze. Sarah moved closer, her eyes sparkling with encouragement. You deserve to be heard, Lily. Let them know how you feel. Taking a deep breath, Lily replied. I know that life isn't perfect, Mr. Callahan. But if we wait for everything to align, for every action to have no consequence, we might never reach out to each other at all. Her voice grew stronger, fueled by a surge of emotion. We can create change. Together. A ripple of whispered agreement washed through the room, and Lily felt it coursing through her veins. This was more than just defending her mother, it was about connecting people, healing wounds that cut deep, pulling everyone into a shared experience. Mr. Callahan's eyes softened, just a little, as if he were weighing her words carefully. Sure, but connection doesn't erase hardship. It doesn't excuse mistakes. You can't ignore the reality of those left behind. But what if, Lily insisted, we can learn from those mistakes? What if understanding is exactly what we need? Isn't that better than tearing each other apart? Her heart was racing now, fueled by adrenaline and something pure determination. The crowd was alive, echoing her sentiment in nods and murmurs. It felt like a dance, this exchange of light and dark. She could see individuals leaning forward, drawn into the moment. Her voice had become a lifeline thrown into rough waters. Silence hovered again, as the mayor studied her, weighing the tension in the room. Then, unexpectedly, he paused. All right, he said, a hint of vulnerability breaking through his stern exterior, I hear you. Perhaps I underestimated the power of connection. The crowd gasped softly, surprise spreading from Lily to the very edges of the auditorium. That breakthrough felt electric. It seemed to lift the weight from her shoulders. She glanced around and saw smiles blooming, empathy igniting. It was the fragile beginning of something real. But Mr. Callahan continued, his eyes now sharp again, what is it you wish to do with this connection? A new wave of hope billowed within her. She could speak her truth now, form a plan that could unite her community. We can organize support groups. Share experiences. I want to start a program that facilitates understanding and kindness workshops. We can heal together, Mr. Callahan, as a community. The response was immediate. Murmurs flooded back, excitement permeating the space. Faces lit up with a mix of surprise and enthusiasm. But there was a flicker of doubt in her chest. Could they truly come together this way? Would anyone stand with her? In that vulnerable moment, she spotted old Mr. Thompson again, who now seemed even more resolute. A nod, a gentle smile, as understanding passed between them. He raised his hand, and others began to follow in kind, arms lifted in solidarity. And amidst that rising energy, Lily realized this was just the beginning. However, there was still a lingering unease inside her. What would this commitment cost them all? As waves of handshakes and soft cheers washed over her, Lily braced herself, heart quaking with anticipation. Would the community truly unite, or would she awaken old grudges and fears that might tear them apart again? With the noise cresting around her like a rising tide, she stepped firmly into the unknown, ready for this new chapter. What lay ahead would challenge everything she knew. The applause faded slowly, replaced by murmurs of confusion and excitement. People were still finding their seats, yet the air was charged, each person wrestling with their own thoughts. Lily's heart raced. She had stirred something profound, but would it settle into inspiration or chaos? She watched as old Mr. Thompson stood, clapping vigorously. His weathered hands still remembered the warmth of community spirit, even if recent years had dimmed that fire. We remember what it's like to be one, he shouted, his voice trembling with age and fervor. Lily's got it right. We need to reach out, to grow together. The intensity of his words felt like a pebble dropped into still water, sending ripples through the crowd. Heads turned, whispers ignited. Lily couldn't help but hold her breath, praying for the spark of unity she so desperately wanted. Then, unexpectedly, a voice chimed in from the back. But what if it doesn't work? What if we just end up hurting each other more? It was Jenna, a single mother who had endured her share of loss. The room quieted, tension rising as her honesty cut through the air. Lily felt her heart sink. Doubt was a tough adversary, one that had hunted her own thoughts. But if they could all voice their fears, maybe just maybe they could face them together. Jenna, I completely understand your concern. We are all scared. But if we don't try, we give in to that fear. Isn't it worse to stay silent and let it win? The anguish on Jenna's face softened, and Lily could see the battle within her. I lost my sister last year during all this kind of pain doesn't just go away. Lily stepped forward, feeling the weight of Jenna's sorrow hanging in the air. You are not alone, Jenna. We can't erase the past, but we can talk about it. Sharing might not heal every wound, but it can lessen the weight we carry. As she spoke, she glanced around, making eye contact with familiar faces weighed down by grief and doubt. With every glance, she could see the walls slowly starting to crumble, tiny fractures that showed the potential for connection. I could help, maybe even lead a group, offered Sarah, her friend's voice breaking through the heaviness. I lost my grandmother to the same darkness. I think we need to feel these things together. Lily felt the warmth of hope blossom within her chest. It was not just her voice anymore, but a chorus of shared experiences. She was not alone, there were hands reaching out, wanting to help pull each other back from the edge. Their eyes brightened with possibility, each acknowledging the wounds but also the strength they could create together. After a moment, Lily nodded gratefully in Sarah's direction, their bond deepening with a shared mission. But that's just it, Mr. Callahan interjected, his tone deftly poised between caution and curiosity. What are the steps? How will you ensure that conversations remain safe? That we don't lose ourselves in vulnerability? The doubts resurfaced, but Lily was ready. By establishing a safe space for everyone, a schedule of meetings, an open forum. We can seek help from local therapists, even counselors who can guide our sharing. She remembered how releasing her own fears had felt like lifting a massive stone from her heart. This is about kindness, but it's also about accountability. The crowd shifted, absorbing her words, tasting the idea. Hope peaked, and in that moment, she felt an unseen thread weave its way between them, connecting each soul present. But a new voice, low and wary, captured her attention again. What if this unearths things we aren't ready to face? It was Daryl, a father whose silent grief enveloped him. Lily's breath caught in her throat. She had never met darkness without an anchor. The fear of opening those sealed doors gnawed at her own stomach. Could she ask them to unlock the very pains they had tucked away? With each question, her spirit shook, but she resolved to stand firm. Then we will face it together. No one has to bear their burden alone. As she finished speaking, anticipation hung thick in the air. The course of their community was shifting. They stood on the edge of possibility, but would they have the courage to leap? Together, they were poised for transformation, but what could be lost in the earnest desire to heal? Lily took a step back, waiting for the murmurs to swell again, the tide of voices to answer her call. Would they provide the answers she sought or merely pull her under? The energy in the room buzzed, thick with expectation. Faces turned, some curious, others still skeptical, but a flicker of hope was unmistakable. Lily sensed the tide was shifting, and it felt intoxicating. Is it worth the risk? Someone whispered from the front row. It was a young man named Ethan, known for his quiet demeanor. What if it opens old wounds we thought were healed? What if we can't handle the weight? Lily felt a pang in her chest. She understood the fear of grappling with the past, it had haunted her too. But isn't that the point? She replied gently. Moving forward means facing what holds us back. I believe we can build a space where it's okay to feel pain, to share it. Jenna nodded slowly, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. Maybe if we share our burdens, it'll lighten the load. My sister used to say that carrying things alone makes the heart heavy, Sarah finished for her, a soft smile breaking through the tension. A few chuckles broke the seriousness, igniting a warmth that spread through the room. Walls of apprehension seemed to lower slightly as laughter lightened the moment. But how do we even start? It was Daryl again, his voice steady but edged with concern. These hurts are deep. What if we end up hurting each other rather than helping? Lily felt her heart race anew. I think that's the beauty of this, she said with conviction. We'll come together not just to air our fears, but to validate them. It won't always be easy, but with guidance, we can create a safe haven. A murmur of agreement rippled through the crowd, shadows of doubt slowly lifting. Mr. Callahan leaned forward, interest piqued. So how do we turn this idea into action? Lily's pulse quickened at the thought of actualizing their vision. Step 1, let us set a date for our first meeting, say next week. We can gather experiences, share insights. Design a structure that invites everyone to speak. The notion felt thrilling, as if a door to a vibrant future stood before them, just waiting for someone to open it. I could arrange for someone to lead the sessions, maybe a counselor, Sarah suggested, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. Absolutely, Lily agreed, sensing the momentum building. We'll brainstorm activities, set a focus for each meeting. The aim is connection. We'll give ourselves the freedom to breathe. Cheering voices broke out from several seats, a harmonious blend of eagerness and apprehension. Lily felt the knot of anxiety within her untangle as she beheld the faces reflecting a mix of hope, curiosity, and determination. What happens if we hit a wall? It was Jenna again, her voice softer but crucial. If someone can't open up, then we support them. We listen, Lily replied firmly. Healing is not a straight path. It loops, it swirls. We'll build trust over time. With that, the room seemed to ripple with anticipation. Faces brightened as if bathed in a golden light, barriers more fragile than they appeared. The fear that had lingered in the air dissipated like mist under the sun. But then a sudden hush fell over the crowd when a different voice broke through. What if this all blows up in our faces? It was Ethan again, a note of urgency in his tone. There's a lot at stake. Are we really ready to take that leap? His question hung there, a challenge wrapped in vulnerability. Lily felt her chest tighten as she recognized the truth behind his words. The possibility of failure lurked ominously in the background. They could rise together or crash. She looked around the room and met the eyes of everyone present. We may fail, she admitted, her voice steady. But we may also succeed beyond our wildest dreams. Life is about the risk, about the leap. At that moment, uncertainty felt both terrifying and thrilling. Lily realized they stood at a fork in the path, a pivotal point that could redefine their community. She felt a rush of exhilaration as hope filled her. The conversation was no longer an echo, it was a roaring stream, pulling them toward an uncertain but promising future. What awaited them on the other side of that leap? Would they find the bonds they yearned for, or expose scars they weren't ready to confront? The weight of the decisions lay heavy in the air, fueling a new wave of urgency. The next week arrived like a breath of fresh air, buoyant with potential. The anticipation hung in the atmosphere like a frayed edge on a well-loved quilt. In the community center, chairs were arranged in a loose circle, creating an inviting space that felt both intimate and open. Lily arrived early, her heart pounding with a mix of excitement and trepidation. As the clock ticked closer to the scheduled start time, people trickled in. Sarah was the first, her enthusiasm transforming the room as she brought in bright snacks and drinks, wanting to create an inviting atmosphere. I thought a little sustenance might help ease the nerves, she said, a cheerful spark in her eyes. Lily chuckled, grateful for Sarah's spirit. She took a moment to breathe deeply, grounding herself amidst the buzz of conversation around her. Eventually, Ethan walked in, his features still holding that hint of apprehension. He glanced around, the uncertainty still evident in his posture, but there was a flicker of hope simmering beneath the surface. When everyone had settled, Lily stood up, her gaze sweeping across the faces before her. It felt surreal to see these individuals each carrying their own burden gathered for a common purpose. "Thank you all for coming," she began, her voice steadying her jittery heart. "This is our chance to transform pain into connection, to support each other through shared stories." She noticed Jenna picking at her hands. "It can be scary to open up," Lily admitted. "But I promise, this is a safe space. No judgment, just compassion." Tension hung in the air like unplayed chords. But as Lily began to speak about creating a safe environment for sharing, Daryl raised his hand. "I think we should start by taking a moment to share our intentions. Why did we come here?" Lily nodded, feeling grateful for Daryl's leadership within the group. One by one, they shared. Some talked about wanting to shed their burdens, others spoke of feeling isolated and wanting to connect. As the circle continued, Lisa, a quiet woman in the corner, finally spoke up. "I lost my dad last year. I guess I want to find a way to heal and remember him." The room fell silent. The gravity of Lisa's words seemed to pull everyone closer, connecting them through shared vulnerability. One voice after another unfolded tales of loss, struggles, and the search for understanding. Each story deepened the threads of connection among them. When it was Ethan's turn, his voice came out shaky. "I'm here because I've felt alone for so long. I want to let go of the pain I carry." Lily felt tears prick her eyes, her heart swelling with empathy. "You're not alone anymore, Ethan. We're all here for each other." As they continued to share, the powerful truth began to emerge. They were all stumbling through their journeys, navigating the rocky terrain of their pasts. Hope flickered like light through the cracks of a once dim room. Just when they felt buoyed by their openness, Jenna raised her hand again, her expression serious. "What if we talk about what happens when we don't feel brave enough to share? Is it okay to stay silent?" Lily paused, realizing the importance of Jenna's question. "It absolutely is," she replied, her heart heavy with understanding. "Silence can be as powerful as words, and we have to honor that too. We're here to support each person's journey, however that looks." They fell into silence for a moment, each lost in thought. But what lingered in the air wasn't fear, it was a sense of belonging slowly building within their circle. As they wrapped up their first session, laughter and encouragement filled the room. They planned their next meeting, and plans for deeper conversations were made. But just as joy settled among them, a loud crash came from the kitchen. Jenna's eyes widened as the sound echoed ominously, followed by a soft whimper. "Is everyone okay? What was that?" Lily rushed toward the noise, her heart hammering. Could this unexpected turn of events test the bonds they had just started to form? Or could it deepen their connection in a way they never anticipated? Lily hurried into the kitchen, her heart racing. The bright lights inside illuminated a scene that made her gasp. A small wooden table had toppled over, scattering discarded snacks and drinks across the floor. But it wasn't just the mess that caught her attention. On the floor, crouched beside the broken mess, was a small boy, no older than 5. He had curly hair and wide, terrified eyes filled with unshed tears. "Hey there, are you okay?" Lily knelt down, trying to catch his gaze. He looked up at her, his small frame shaking slightly. I got lost," he whimpered, his voice quivering. "I just wanted a cookie." "Oh, sweetie, it's all right," she reassured him, gently brushing a tear from his cheek. "Let us get you back to your friends. Can you tell me your name?" "Tommy," he sniffled, still eyeing the spilled treats like they were treasures he couldn't have. "Tommy. That's a great name," she said, her heart swelling. Just then, Ethan appeared behind her, concern etched across his face. "What happened?" he asked, his brow furrowed. "Just a little one who got lost," Lily replied, glancing over her shoulder to see the others peering in from the meeting room. The memory of their earlier stories rang fresh in her ears. Here they were, finding courage in vulnerability, and now they were sharing that same spirit with Tommy. Ethan knelt down next to Lily and Tommy, meeting the child's gaze. "Hey there, buddy. How about we clean this up together? I think I saw some cookies hiding in there." Tommy's eyes lit up for a moment before dread crept back. "What if I don't find my mommy?" Lily placed a gentle hand on Tommy's shoulder. "We'll find her, I promise. You're safe with us." The warmth in Ethan's voice seemed to wash over Tommy. He took a deep breath and nodded, a flicker of hope igniting within those innocent eyes. As they began to pick up the snacks together, the other adults entered the kitchen, curiosity and concern driving them forward. Sarah was the first to kneel down beside them, pushing back her own worries to offer reassurance. "Hi, Tommy. We're all friends here. Let us finish cleaning up, and then we can find your mommy together." Here was yet another layer of connection building, with each adult surrounding the boy with kindness. Laughter broke out as they joked about how many cookies might still be hiding under the table. Lily noticed Jenna's serious expression fade into a smile and felt a wave of relief wash over her. "Maybe we can have a cookie party while we wait," Jenna suggested, her voice brightening. In that moment, Lily saw how beautifully their bond was evolving. They had come together to confront their personal struggles, and now they were solving a new challenge as a team. The energy in the room shifted, the earlier vulnerability transforming into united purpose. Tommy smiled through his sniffles, his small hands helping to gather the scattered snacks. With every moment, the light in his eyes grew stronger, and so did the connection. They all felt, an understanding that weaving together their stories could lead to unexpected places. "Okay, Tommy," Lily said as they finished tidying up, "how about we find your mom? Can you tell us what she looks like?" Before Tommy could reply, the sound of footsteps echoed from the hallway. A frantic woman, clearly his mother, burst into the kitchen, relief flooding her face as she spotted him. "Tommy. Oh my goodness. I was so worried." Lily felt the magic of the moment wrap around them all. Here was a little boy, lost but found, and a room full of people who had faced their own fears just moments before. It was an unspoken bond of humanity that blossomed in the most unforeseen ways. As Tommy reunited with his mother, Lily realized this experience was a reminder of why they were here. They were not alone in their struggles. The connection they forged within this circle extended beyond their stories, wrapping around others like a comforting blanket. As Tommy waved goodbye to them, his mother thanking each of them with teary gratitude, Lily's heart soared. But in the back of her mind lingered the thought of how their shared vulnerability was only the surface of deeper connections yet to be unearthed. What else would they learn about themselves and each other in this journey ahead? The excitement and uncertainty of that thought hung in the air, promising more revelations in the days to come. The kitchen was buzzing with laughter as the adults exchanged playful banter about cookie flavors. Lily felt a surge of warmth at the sight, surrounded by friends, all ready to face the world together. But even as smiles were shared, something deeper lingered in the air. Ethan turned toward Lily, a frown nestled on his brow. "You think we're really ready for this? For what's next?" Lily met his gaze, her heart fluttering at the question. They had shared deep stories already, opened doors to parts of themselves that had long been closed. She glanced over her shoulder, catching the aftermath of Tommy's reunion, the mother still holding her boy close, as if afraid to let him go. "I think we're closer to answering that than we realize," she replied softly. Their energy shifted when Jenna piped up, "All right, everyone. Cookie party time. Help me find that stash." Her enthusiasm broke the seriousness of the moment. Laughter rang out, and they all scrabbled around the kitchen, searching for any hidden cookies. It felt right, this lightness lifting the burdens they had carried in from the world beyond these walls. And then something caught Lily's eye. A familiar shadow loomed across the doorway. It was Sarah, standing with a hesitant smile, a stack of papers clutched in her hand. "Hey, folks. I know we're celebrating, but I thought you might want to see something." Curiosity piqued, the group turned to face her. Sarah took a deep breath, a nervous edge to her voice. This is a list of topics we could tackle in our next meeting. Things we might want to share as a group. I think it could help us continue to connect. Lily's heart raced. She recalled the vulnerable stories they had already shared, the deep-seated insecurities, the struggles, the laughter that masked pain. What do you have in mind? She asked. Sarah smiled, her confidence growing. Things we've never admitted out loud. Fears, dreams, and the things that hold us back. You know, the stuff that really matters. Ethan exchanged glances with Lily, excitement bubbling within him. That's perfect, Sarah. We need to go deeper. But it could be hard. Are we all ready for that? Lily felt the thrill in the air. They had created something beautiful together. Sharing their scars had crafted a tapestry of vulnerability, but digging into their fears could take them to new heights. I think we are, Lily spoke with a tremor of certainty. We owe it to ourselves and to each other. As they began discussing various topics, nerves fluttered, but so did a sense of solidarity. When one voice spoke of regret, others moved closer, hands reaching out to comfort. Those palms pressed against shoulders felt comforting, a reminder that they were in this together. It's scary being honest about this stuff, Jenna admitted, her voice wavering. But I want to. I want to change. Exactly. Ethan said. We change together. We call out what holds us back, and we support each other while doing it. Lily looked around, her heart swelling with pride. They were all diving into uncharted waters. It would challenge them, but she sensed it would also heal them. Suddenly, a loud crack echoed through the kitchen. Everyone froze, their laughter fading into whispers of confusion. The overhead lights flickered dangerously, and a tense silence filled the air. What was that? Tommy's mother peered nervously, protecting her son. Lily's stomach dropped, the air charged with electricity. She exchanged worried glances with the others, but before fear could settle in, she reminded herself of something they had just embraced: courage. Let's check it out together, she suggested, knowing that whatever was waiting beyond the kitchen could change everything. What had disrupted their newfound hope? And what would happen when they stepped into the unknown together? The silence hung heavy, thick with uncertainty. Lily took a deep breath and stepped forward, her heart pounding like a drum in her chest. It was a leap into the tension of the unknown. The others followed, sharing anxious glances, their earlier lightness replaced by an edge of apprehension. As they walked toward the dark hallway that led away from the kitchen, the air felt different, thicker, almost electric. Each step echoed in the stillness, amplifying their fears and bolstering their resolve. They reached the doorway, and the flickering bulb overhead cast eerie shadows across the walls. What could it have been? Jenna whispered, her voice trembling. Tommy's mother held her son tightly, the boy's eyes wide and questioning. Whatever it is, we can handle it, Ethan said, his voice steady though his own eyes betrayed the tension roiling inside him. Together, they ventured into the hallway. The shadows danced around them, and Lily shivered as a cool draft swept through, prickling the hairs on the back of her neck. The flickering lights surged dimly, illuminating a large box that had toppled over. Papers fluttered around it like fallen leaves, each whispering secrets of their own. What a mess, Sarah said, moving towards the box. The group followed, keenly aware that every step felt like a moment suspended in time. Tommy pointed at an open folder. Look. Inside was a collection of sketches, beautiful, raw, and filled with emotion. It was an unexpected contrast to the turmoil they felt moments ago. Did one of us bring this? Lily asked, her voice cracking slightly. No, Ethan broke in, curiosity overpowering his fear. I've never seen these before. They gathered closer, their surroundings forgotten as they studied the drawings. Each page revealed an unfolding story of vulnerability, faces caught in moments of laughter, wild landscapes bursting with color, and abstract shapes symbolizing despair. It was a gallery of emotions spilling onto paper. This is incredible, Lily breathed, her heart racing. Look how expressive they are. Maybe it's a sign, Sarah murmured, her eyes misty. Like we're being told it's okay to feel everything we're afraid to express. Jenna nodded slowly, her earlier fear replaced by a flicker of hope. Yeah. Maybe we can use these as a way to share our stories, our fears and dreams. It could help. Lily's heart soared at the idea. They had been gearing up to open their hearts to each other, and now this art was a bridge, guiding them deeper. Let us take them back to the kitchen. We can talk about what we feel when we look at each picture. It might be just what we need. With a renewed sense of purpose, the group carefully collected the sketches, cradling them like fragile treasures. As they retraced their steps toward the kitchen, the earlier crack and fear melded into something powerful, a promise of connection, a chance for healing. Back in the kitchen, they arranged the sketches on the counters, filling the room with a new energy. As they began to share their thoughts, a gentle camaraderie took form. Laughter soon threaded through the deeper conversations, weaving a tapestry of trust that cloaked their fears. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed from the back door. The laughter fell silent, and the sense of safety splintered again. Lily's heart dropped. What else could possibly throw them off course tonight? Without thinking, she glanced at Ethan, who nodded wordlessly, both their expressions a mix of courage and concern. They had come this far together. With hearts pounding, they moved toward the source of the sound, determined to face whatever awaited them on the other side. What awaited them there would either shatter or strengthen their bond. Would it be an unexpected adversary, or perhaps another opportunity for connection? Stepping into the hallway again, Lily felt the familiar thrill of fear and determination envelop her. The air was thick with anticipation. Whatever lay beyond those wooden doors would surely test the bonds they'd begun to form. Ethan was just behind her, his presence a grounding force. He whispered, "We need to stick together. No matter what it is." Her heart raced as they reached the back door, its frame creaking ominously under the weight of apprehension. Lily's fingers trembled slightly as she reached for the doorknob, twisting it slowly. With a sudden push, the door swung open, the outside world flooding into the dim corridor. To her shock, they found not an adversary, but rather a familiar face, the town's mayor, Mr. Callahan, standing with fists clenched, uncertainty flickering across his features. "Lily. I've been searching for you," he breathed heavily, his eyes darting to the sketches on the table. "There's been talk about everything you're doing here." His tone was more earnest than accusatory, but the weight of his words pressed heavily upon her. "A lot of people were wondering if you'd lead a community workshop after the bake sale blog went viral. We need more dialogue around acceptance, especially for families dealing with loss." Lily's heart swelled. This was the acknowledgement she had desperately hoped for, not just from the community, but from someone in a position of authority. "Really?" It came out as a breathless whisper. Mr. Callahan nodded, his gaze sweeping across the room filled with sketches, laughter, and the warmth of newfound connections. "People are ready to come together, but I need your leadership. It requires courage to bring everyone in, but I believe you can do it." That request billowed inside Lily's chest, igniting a fire she hadn't fully recognized before. "If there's anything to be learned from tonight, it's that connection starts with honesty," she said, her voice steady. "And together, we can foster that understanding. We don't have to navigate this alone." A ripple of murmurs echoed through the room, eyes lighting with the possibility of change. "Together, we can heal," Lily affirmed, glancing at each face surrounding her, the nervous parents, the anxious children, even the skeptical townsfolk turned hopeful. This was the community she wanted to build. "And what if people resist?" Ethan cautiously added, echoing the doubts they all felt. Lily took a deep breath. "Then we share our stories until they can't help but listen. We show them how pain can open a door to understanding. Not by judging, but by inviting." The faces in the room grew animated, the air pulsing with a rhythm of fresh ideas. Jenna's eyes twinkled, now filled with enthusiasm instead of fear. "We could even write letters to each other, share what we wish we knew when we were lost." Everyone deserves their feelings honored. Lily grinned, recognizing the spark of inspiration. Exactly. It's not about fixing everyone's problems, it's about creating space where healing can happen. Mr. Callahan, visibly moved, stepped back. You've got spirit, kid. I'll rally the town and make it happen. Let us show them how a community can thrive when they embrace their scars. As he exited, the excitement in the room surged. They began brainstorming ideas, the workshops, sharing sessions, perhaps even art exhibits featuring their sketches. It was exhilarating, each person chiming in with their vision for what could blossom from this unity. Amid the whirlwind of ideas, Lily felt a shift within. She had transformed from the frightened girl in the market into a beacon of hope. She wasn't just a survivor, she was a leader. Just then, Tommy dashed back into the kitchen, holding tightly onto a crumpled piece of paper. I drew a picture for you all. His voice was pure joy, breaking through the heavy currents with childlike innocence. He trailed his fingers over the drawing of a sun shining over a house filled with people, each person connected by bright, swirling lines. Lily knelt down to him, overwhelmed. Tommy, this is beautiful. You captured us. All together. He cheered, a huge grin lighting up his face. The little boy's drawing seemed to encapsulate all they wanted to accomplish, a community woven together through shared stories, pain, and joy. As laughter filled the kitchen once more, Lily realized this journey was just beginning. Yet, the worries that had once consumed her now felt like remnants of the past. They had each other more than the connections forged from grief. They were family now. With a radiant smile, she locked eyes with Ethan, who nodded at her, pride shining through his features. They were a collective of hearts and stories, bravely striding on to the next chapter. A chapter defined by healing, transformation, and unity. As the warmth enveloped her, stirring a profound sense of belonging, Lily felt a pull of purpose unlike anything before. This was the moment everything changed. The flickers of doubt faded away, and in their place shone the realization, love and kindness could illuminate even the darkest paths. As they began to discuss dates for future meetings, ideas bubbling like freshly whipped cream, Lily couldn't shake the feeling, the very best was yet to come. Now, true fans, this is the moment to show your support. You need to subscribe now so you don't miss the next inspiring story. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and spread the love. Comment with your reactions and feelings about Lily's incredible journey. And don't wait not even one more second, share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Let us keep this spirit of connection alive together.